Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's time for the TNA Event Center report. And now here's the man to give you all the total non-stop action and impactful report, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans, 1977, episode number 2563 of the show. How's it going, everybody? It is Friday, September 26, 2025, 4:50 p.m. Like I promised, like I said, I'm going to talk about the TNA Event Center. I've watched it from last night, but here's why I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. I did not get a chance to put up the video about it. Rant and Rave was in a bit of a pickle because what happened was my man Brandon Martin had his PA announcing for the girls varsity soccer. My other main man, Mr. Jordy Scow, aka Jordan Little, had a power problem because of the storm that they're experiencing in South Carolina. And he wasn't going to be able to make it on time to start the show. So they've asked me to host the show along with William the Conqueror, Braun, and Michael Mabardi. I said, no problem, just hook me up with everything I need, and we'll get ready and get set and we're ready to go. We touched on the topics, we touched more topics, and like I said, Dave trusted me to host the show, and I did. And I want to, again, I cannot express this wholeheartedly. Even though, listen, I never wanted to host Rant and Rave because that was Brandon and Jordan's baby. That it's their thing. They host the show. They're in charge of it. They've done a wonderful job, and that's my honest opinion. I'm happy to be there as a panelist and use my life experience as the elder statesman of the Rant and Rave podcast to contribute to the podcast. But they've trusted me to host a show. I've done it a couple of times, but it's just like an emergency situation. Chayton joked about, Eric should host the show and all that permanently. Nah, it's okay, it's okay. And he said, oh, you're fired. And I'm like, nah, it's all right. It's just an emergency hosting. But I want to thank Brandon Martin and Jordan Little. You guys, trusted me hosting Rant and Rave. Anytime you need me to host a show or Phil, anytime you need me to do that, I'm your guy. Okay, so just let you guys know. I can't thank enough wholeheartedly. Thank those two gentlemen wholeheartedly. They trusted me, and I'm very, very honored to be an interim host for one night only, which is great. So I can't wait to hear you guys' reaction to Jordan taking a wrestling bump. He's looking forward to telling the story. He'll be making his return next week, the first Rant and Rave of October 2025. Tune in, guys. Tune in, guys. You're never really going to regret it. So thank you, guys. And I want to thank everybody who has supported me last night. William, Michael, and everybody in that live chat. Thank you very much for showing me support. And I do appreciate you guys being active in the live chat. It was great. And I had a great time. It was an honor. That was an honor not to be taken lightly. You know what I mean? It's and who would have thought a month ago I was on sabbatical, but now I'm like, I'm hosting a show. Great, just for one. So just for that's what happened to me. That's why I was unable to do the TNA Event Center last night, like I usually do. So I do apologize for that. But we have a lot to talk about on TNA Event Center, and this is the final TNA Event Center before Victory Road 2025. I've written down the matches, picks and predictions. So the Rascals went up against the team of the X Division champ Leon Slater and Cedric Alexander. And Myron Reed was joined on commentary, and Myron Reed was hoping that the boys would soften him up a little bit. And Leon Slater and Cedric Alexander did pick up the victory over the both former X Division champions. And Gia Miller interviewed Frankie Kazarian and Jake Sutton as they address Steve Macklin and the returning Mr. Anderson, formerly known as Mr. Kennedy. Yep. So, and Frank Kazarian's got his sights set on being the international champion tonight, actually, at Victory Road. Victory Road's actually tonight at 9. And then Eric Young confronts Santino Marella outside in the parking lot, saying he wants Joe Hendry in a matchup. Santino Marella says, "You want Joe Hendry in a matchup? Well, you got it." And Eric Young keeps calling him puppet. You know, just shut up, Eric Young, and stop complaining, and stop talking about this cleansing crap, and just fight. Just fight to get your point across. Jeepers. And then women's knockouts matchup as Jody Threat took on the crazy Victoria Crawford. Yep, she's crazy. You don't believe me? Ask Tom Hannafin. He knows about Victoria Crawford all too well. And as you know, Gia Miller had asked the TNA board to lift the suspension of Tessa Blanchard. I think people think that Gia Miller realized what she has done, but I think Gia Miller, there's something going on with Gia Miller's brain that we don't even know. So, you may look at her, oh, she's a blonde, she's a bimbo, she's got big boobs and a nice butt and all that. Now, listen, she's beautiful and all, but do not let that beauty fool you. There is brains in that beauty, and believe me, Gia Miller may have a master plan against Tessa Blanchard before we know it. We don't, I wouldn't underestimate Gia Miller anytime soon. Trust me. If you see her in the Indies, she turned against her own fiance, Ace Austin. And she brought out two of the most devastating men in indie wrestling in Sawyer Fulton and Cruel. You put those two monsters together and she's managing them, that's bad news. Who knows what's going to run through Gia Miller's mind? I just dare Tessa Blanchard to take Gia Miller off one more time. So, Joe Hendry decided to cut a promo on Eric Young. He responds to Eric Young, yes, it's going to be official. I'm going to show you why people still chant, we believe. And then the system addresses the Order 4. As you know, Hardcore War is coming. He says, I'll tell you what, since you and I are going one-on-one, here's the deal. You keep your stooges in the back, we'll keep my family in the back. What do you say? Always trust the system. I got my picture taken with two of the most prominent members of the system in the Edwardses, Eddie and Alicia, last year at the Teddy Goods retirement final. Well, retirement match. So, I had the honor of taking a picture with a lot of great wrestlers. I got Tommy Dreamer, The Godfather, Smart Mark Sterling, I heard Smart Mark Sterling ask me what yeet, because I was wearing the Jey Uso yeet shirt. What does yeet mean? That's my man Jey Uso. He's my boy. Anyways, so we'll see what the proposition is there. The Call Your Shot Battle Royal Qualifier. Now, the interesting situation is for a qualifying spot, the final spot, number 20. Number 20 is the coveted spot that you want. But whoever is the last person eliminated will be drawn number 1. So, but then AJ Francis comes out, runs his mouth with the Minneapolis crowd and all. He says, unlike the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm not going to get eliminated early. I'm like, oh boy, right? And then he starts going to Mario Sade. No, girl, you're fine, but don't touch the merchandise. And he goes, and he starts dissing the ladies. I'm like, you don't want to diss the ladies, especially some that could kick his butt in, right? And Rosemary got into his face, and he goes, I know I was taught never to hit a lady, but I can chokeslam the bleep out of you. And then when Rosemary missed at him, dude got his shades on, and he's selling it. I'm like, what? I'm like, you act like he's got blind. I'm like, you got shades on, dude. What are you doing? He's selling it. He's selling it like he actually got blind. He got freaking his glasses on. Rosemary should have smacked the shades off and then missed at him. That's what. First he flops over the top rope, flop dollar, and he forgot to put his shades. It was the funniest thing in the world. But AJ Francis sold it like he got blinded and he got thrown out of the ring. And it was down between Mance Warner and Lei Ying Lee. And Mance Warner throws out Lei Ying Lee, and Mance Warner wins the number 20 spot. Will he win it? I don't know. Steph DeLanda could play a part in it. Who knows for sure. Then on the Road to Glory, Mike Santana, he had talking about how the road to get there, because Bound for Glory, he's challenging Trick Williams for the TNA World Title. And then they had a phone call from his father, a message from him and his daughter saying we're all proud of you. I think it's going to go. I think Mike Santana, it's time to take it. And then Santino Marella oversees the final negotiation between the Hardys and T3D, Bound for Glory at Lowell, Mass. They want the match happening. And so he said, and then Matt Hardy, after exchanging pleasantries, showing respect to each other, said, hey, we need you in this matchup. We need you to help us prove that we're the best. And I'll tell you what we'll tell you what we're going to do. We're willing to put the tag team titles on the line. And, after Bully Ray said, hey, Brother Ray said, hey, what do you have to offer us? And he said, we'll put the tag titles on the line. He said, no. Here's the deal. We'll go at it. But it'll be the tag titles on the line in a tables match. So, it is official. Bound for Glory. The tag team titles are on the line in a tables match. Hardys versus Team 3D. If the Dudleys win, they'll be 25-time World Tag Team Champions. And go down as the greatest tag team of all time. Lots of tough competition to get. I mean, LOD, Demolition. You got the New Day. You got the Hardys. You got Edge and Christian. The Steiner Brothers. I can go on about all these great tag teams. The Hart Foundation. I can go the Nasty Boys. And Harlem Heat, for goodness sakes. 10-time, 11-time WCW Tag Team Champions. And I'll tell you one thing right now. The Dudleys have an opportunity to stand head and shoulders above the rest. They're both WWE and TNA Hall of Famers. So there is that. Speaking of TNA Hall of Fame, the beautiful people. I said I talked about it last night on Rant and Rave. The beautiful people, Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, and also Mickey James will be inducted into this year's class in the Hall of Fame at Bound for Glory. So congratulations to all three of the ladies. And I say Madison Rayne and Lacey Von Erich, including this too. I don't know. It's well, who knows? We'll see what happens. And then Order 4 responds to the system, and Mustafa Ali had a great idea. I am going to admit this. I'm going to give him credit. He said, I'll tell you what. I'll leave my family in the back. You leave your crew in the back. How about we make this match for Hardcore War? The winner of this match, his team, gets the man advantage. So, and then the system came in, confronted him. Looks like they accepted the challenge. They didn't have to say a word. So, Mustafa Ali, Moose, one-on-one, man advantage match for Hardcore War. That's an excellent idea. Mustafa Ali thinking that right there. I got to give him that. So, and now the tag team matchup, Steve Macklin and Mr. Anderson going up against the team of Frankie Kazarian and Jake Something. And the fun part is when Mr. Anderson reaches for his old school mic and it doesn't come down, but then they're like, and then Steve Macklin goes, I got an idea. Grabs a chair, stands on top of the chair, puts his mic down on Mr. Anderson, grabs the microphone and he goes, Mr. Anderson. Yeah, you had to do it. You had to do it. Steve Macklin's always, and maybe he is serious, and he's serious when he comes to fighting in the ring, and he served our country, and that's I respect Steve Macklin. I'm a fan of his. He married Deanna Prazo, who's a fellow Patriots fan, mind you. So shout out to Deanna Prazo. I cannot believe Cardi B's a Red Sox fan. I did not even know that. Imagine that. So Cardi B's not only a wrestling fan, but also a Red Sox fan. Hey, you know what? May not be a fan of her music, but you know what? My respect to Cardi B for that. You know, you think I'm joking? Try me. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna need the pen. Ding dong. Ah! So, great matchup this was, the tag team matchup. Steve Macklin and Mr. Anderson won the match. So, you got that. It's great to see Mr. Anderson back in a TNA ring. It was really cool. Hope we see him back in the WWE one day. Who knows? So that is it for the TNA Event Center. But we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. I got my Victory Road 2025. Picks and predictions right here. And in the countdown to Victory Road, we got a triple threat match between Cedric Alexander, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz. You know what I'm picking? I'm picking Wentz to win this one. All right. Now, Moose versus Mustafa Ali. And this matchup will be the Hardcore War Man Advantage match. And I'm going to pick Moose to win that one. All right. Now we have Hometown Man, a.k.a. Cody Deaner, and Matt Cardona joining forces up against the Nemets. The Nemets are going to cheat, and they're going to win that one. All right. Mike Santana versus Ridge Holland. You know what? I know Trick Williams will try to get involved in this matchup, but I'm picking Santana to win over the NXT tough guy. The Knockouts Tag Team Titles Online, the Elegance brand, which is Heather by Elegance and M by Elegance, with the personal concierge in their corner against the Inspiration. Now, I don't know what's going to be up with Ash by Elegance, but I'm picking the Inspiration to finally get those belts back. All right. Joe Hendry versus Eric Young one-on-one. I'm picking Joe Hendry for this one. International title, Steve Macklin versus Frankie Kazarian. I'm picking Macklin to retain. And then finally, the exhibition title, Leon Slater versus Myron Reed. It's going to be a heck of a matchup either way. I think Slater's going to retain. So, these are my picks and predictions for TNA Victory Road tonight at 9 o'clock. I'll be watching SmackDown. I'll probably pull double duty. Who knows for sure. So, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And once again, I want to thank Brandon and Jordan for trusting me to host the show last night. Had fun with them. I want to thank Michael Mabardier and William Braun, the Conqueror, for helping me out and backing me up. And I appreciate that. Full support. Thank you for tuning in. And so, until the next episode comes rolling around, which is SmackDown tonight and then Victory Road, thank you. Until that next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production and in association with a Raven Bofa 3000 telepictures and distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.